Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Zelensky has apparently changed his mind. Earlier this month, he said, "We will never," and I can quote him, "nobody's going to surrender Bakhmut. We'll fight as long as we can." Seems like he's had a change of heart. Now he's saying, for us it's important to defend it, but not at any price, not until everybody dies. We'll fight while it remains reasonable. The US State Department, or the Pentagon, told him that you should retreat from Bakhmut. Some people were joking in the comment section that he is running out of cocaine. I believe that Zelensky knows that Bakhmut is it's a meat grinder for the Ukrainian army. A lot of young Ukrainian men and apparently a lot of teenage women are being drafted into the army to fight in Bakhmut. And he's beginning to see that it's not reasonable to defend it. But whether he will act upon this or not is another story. And we have to remember that he's also surrounded by a lot of right-wing lunatics that want to fight to the bitter end, basically. And if Bakhmut falls, well, the Russians are going to take Kramatorsk and some other, and Slavyansk, yes. And then continue to beyond the Dnieper River, I guess. But we can read the article just so we can get a sense of it. It's not a very long one. So it says here, Zelensky changes stance on key battle in Donbass. Kiev's forces will only fight for Artyomovsk or Bakhmut while it remains reasonable, the Ukrainian leader says. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has acknowledged that while the key Donbass town of Artyomovsk, which Ukraine calls Bakhmut, is important to Kiev, it's not worth defending at all costs. Earlier this month, Zelensky insisted that nobody's going to surrender Bakhmut. We'll fight as long as we can. However, he gave a different account when asked whether it was worth losing men to maintain control of the strategic settlement during an interview with Italy's Corriere della Sera newspaper on Sunday. For us, it's important to defend it, but not any price and not until everybody dies. We'll fight while it remains reasonable, the Ukrainian leader replied. Trying to hold on to Artyomovsk is crucial because the Russians want to continue towards the bigger cities of Kramatorsk, Slavyansk, to the borders of Donbass and Dnieper, he explained. We resist and in the meantime prepare our next counterattack, Zelensky said. Artyomovsk is a major Ukrainian stronghold and logistics hub in the People's Republic of Donetsk, DPR. The key town is now on the brink of being encircled by Russian forces after a battle that lasted for months and had been described by Zelensky himself as hell for Kiev's troops. One of the reasons why this town took such a long time to sort of encircle is because it's been fortified for like 8 years. Plus the Wagner group, which had carried on the fight there for months, were not, as we all know, the Russians did not mobilize enough troops in the beginning of the conflict. So their defense line was too stretched out. And we've spoken about it before. That's why the Ukrainians managed to take Izium, which is part of the Kharkiv area. And then you have, to be honest with you, Kherson was a strategic retreat rather. A much more planned one. But in both of these offensives, Ukraine lost a lot of men. So, there was, to sum it up, there was not enough troops for the musicians, the Wagnerites, basically, to progress as they're doing today. According to Western media reports, the US government, which promised to support Ukraine for as long as it takes, has been urging Kiev to withdraw from Artyomovsk since late January and instead prepare for future counteroffensives in other areas. However, Zelensky has been reluctant to comply to the American requests. Senior Biden administration officials told Washington Post last week that the Ukrainian leader attaches symbolic importance to the town and fears a setback to morale of its surrender. It's not just a symbolic importance, though. This is like the main supply line of the Donetsk region for the Ukrainian troops. So if the Russians can like maintain Bakhmut and take over it, yeah, then the defense line of Donetsk will sort of collapse and they have to retreat way back, right? Yan Gagin, an advisor to DPR's acting head Denis Pushilin, said on Monday that the Ukrainians were clinging on to Artyomovsk because other settlements in the area lacked proper fortifications. They didn't think they would have to retreat, he explained. The nearby town of Chasov Yar, where Ukrainian commanding officers have been moved, is currently unprepared to resist a Russian advance, according to Gagin. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Straight from the horse's mouth. We're beginning to see the end of the Bakhmut meat grinder. Like I've said, there is no... this is a tragedy, really. The Ukrainian government and army is sacrificing its young to defend this town, this unimportant town. It's crazy to me. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I'd make a quick video. So please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Thank you very much.